What's up, y'all? Will here at Schedulefly. This is a special episode. I believe it's the longest episode we've ever produced. This is with Mawa McQueen, and she is in Aspen, Colorado. She owns 3 businesses there between Aspen and Snowmass, and truly could have talked to her all day. We were about 2 hours in. My battery was dying. We got into a subject that I think alone, I was personally interested enough to probably talk to her another 2 hours just about what we started getting into at the end of the episode. So we'll probably have to do another one, Mawa. I'll have to come back out there. But this is great. This story, y'all, is just sit back and enjoy. I mean, this is a lady who at 9 years old in Western Africa was sleeping nightly under the kitchen table of a family who was watching her and her siblings. Her mother had moved to France. Her father had been remarried. They were staying with family friends. And her bed at night was under a kitchen table on a floor. Today, she's a successful business owner in Aspen. As I mentioned, 3 restaurants there. Just came out with a cookbook in December. It's fantastic. Check it out. Go to their website and you can find it. And she's the only black female business owner in Aspen, Colorado. This is a truly incredible and inspiring story. And by the way, I mentioned the website. It's mawaskitchen.com. Just go there. You can find everything you need. I really feel honored to have had this opportunity. We do at Schedulefly. We're honored to have this opportunity to share this story. And without further ado, let's dive in. But before we do, real quickly, let's hear from our sponsors, Flip and Pop Menu. Flip is a mobile banking platform designed for the hospitality industry. If you own or manage or run a restaurant and you're looking for really unique, effective, meaningful employee benefit for your team, check out Flip, F-L-Y-P, flipmoney.com. This is like I said, mobile banking platform designed for the hospitality industry, meaning that no minimum balances on checking accounts, none of these fees, no ATM fees, get your pay early. There's a rewards-based debit card. Just a great company, and it's designed to serve the audience, those of you that are listening to this podcast, or those of you that have teams of people in your hospitality business that you'd like to offer a really unique and meaningful and value-added employee benefit. So check out Flip, flipmoney.com, F-L-Y-P, or Flip in the App Store. Our second sponsor is Pop Menu. Pop is in popcorn, P-O-P. Get.popmenu.com. Great business. We at Schedulefly share a lot of customers with Pop Menu. All of those customers are very happy with both the product and the customer service that comes along with it. Pop Menu is going to build you a new website, no upfront design fee or implementation fee, but they're going to build you a website that is super dynamic, and it's going to turn your menu into your best sales tool. They're going to provide you with incredible SEO, search engine optimization. So if people are looking for the type of food that you offer in your city or your town, the way Pop Menu designs these, you're going to get great search engine optimization. You're going to appear at the top or near the top of the natural search results. So they're going to help people find you, number one. Number two, they're going to keep people on your site. There's dynamic menus. They have reviews for your menu items right there on your site. So people are getting the information. They don't need to leave and go over to Yelp and find out what people are saying. They're seeing what they're saying right there on your site, and you control those reviews. So they get people there, they keep them there, and then they give you the tools that you need to keep them coming back. This is a great company. We're really excited about them. We spent last year getting to know them before partnering with them at Schedulefly. Tons and tons of mutual happy customers. We've been introducing them to a lot of our customers over the last few months, and nearly all of them have switched over to Pop Menu when we've made that introduction because it's just a great service and a great group of people. So check them out. In fact, Mawa and her team are deploying Pop Menu right now. So get.popmenu.com and get busy listening to this awesome episode. Mawa, thank you. Thank you to your team, all of you were amazing. Had a great dinner there with our mutual friend Dave Query the night before the interview. Loved hanging out with you. Thank you for the cookbook, and thank you for this opportunity to share your story. Here we go. All right, well, then we are live. I am so honored, so excited to be here in Aspen, Colorado with Mawa McQueen. Had an incredible dinner last night with our mutual buddy, Dave Query. And wow, Mawa, I thank you for doing this today.
Oh, you're very welcome.
I sat down this morning and I read the intro to the cookbook that you just self-published a month ago, and you gave it a copy to Dave last night. And your story's amazing. I don't even know where to start. Like first of all, congratulations on all the success.
Thank you.
James Beard, you have this amazing cookbook. You're in this incredible restaurant here, Mawa's Kitchen. You've got another one that you've just opened. You've got a crepe place here in Snowmass that's just killing it. You're buying the building here. Now, here you are, and from the outside looking in, people are like, wow, Mawa she is just so successful, and look at all this amazing success she's had. But it has come from a lot of years of hard work and trial and error.
Pain.
And you were very honest in that introduction. I mean, you were, and I love that, because this was not written from a place of like, look where I am, and you were like, look, I was like $1 million in debt at one point, and about to declare bankruptcy. I mean, and not that long ago, and here you are. So it's a story of resilience and grit and determination and optimism, and just as you said there, you just kept going.
Oh yeah, I didn't have a choice though.
Well, you say that, but it's interesting because maybe you didn't, or maybe you did. I mean, you could have declared bankruptcy and like gotten rid of a lot of debt and all that stuff, but you really wanted to figure out a way to get around that and make this all work. And, well, I want to start with your backstory, because something that was super fascinating to me is that you're the oldest of 20 children.
Correct.
From the west coast of Africa.
Yes, West Africa, Ivory Coast.
Okay, so you're the oldest, and you were there for a while. You had half your siblings there, and then you spent time in France where another half your siblings, and you're sort of like functioning as, you would have to. You're functioning as somebody that's helping take care of all these siblings and all that. But take me back, like early days, your early years.
Oh my God. From where? From Africa or from France?
I mean,
oh my God! I mean, it was crazy. It was crazy. My early years.
How long were you in Africa?
For 12 years.
For 12 years.
Yes, correct.
Okay, so you spent your childhood
in Africa.
Africa. And what was going on there?
A lot of figuring out.
What was life like?
Oh, life was painful because I was raised by some relative while my mom moved to France. So it was a little chaotic, I will say. I was with some people because my mom had me at 18.
Okay.
So she couldn't keep me.
Right.
So I was with some other people kind of raised me. She will send money to them. But it wasn't, and until I was 9 years old, I didn't know my father.
Until you were 9?
Yes, I didn't.
Wow.
I heard of him, but I didn't know about him. I never met him. I never saw him. But I always live in fear because you need to understand that my mom and dad have two different cultures. My dad is Muslim, and my mom is Christian. And I mean, back in the day, they did the unforgiving thing. Getting together wasn't, you don't mix. Tribe don't mix, and I was kind of the bastard child, I will say.
Okay.
And trying to navigate both culture was very, very hard. I felt like I didn't have a place. I always felt like I didn't belong to anybody. I was the odd one. I went to one house to another house, and the last house, we were sleeping underneath of a table.
You were sleeping on what?
Underneath of a table.
Underneath a table.
Yes. Literally, we didn't have bed. We didn't have, it was one bedroom. So the couple had the bedroom, and literally I had a mat on the floor, and I was sleeping there until, and we had only one meal. And my mom was very livid, apparently, because she didn't know about it. And then she came and she's like, okay, something needs to happen here. So she took me to my dad. But, I was so afraid of that culture that I didn't know, because I heard so many bad things.
The Muslim culture?
The Muslim culture.
And where was he? Was he in?
Yeah, it was in another city.
Okay.
So I was in Abidjan. That was the capital. And he was in Yamoussoukro. It's like, let's say 4 hours.
Okay.
Say I was here and he was in Denver.
Right. Gotcha. Okay.
And so I went there, and honestly, for me, the ride there was, I thought I was going to die. I thought I was going to be mistreated, because now I'm going to have a step mom, and I don't know the culture. I don't know my dad. I don't know. I just heard a lot of things. So, and my mom, like, you don't talk to your mom. Like, it's not like now, people talk. There's no such a thing. She's
Right.
like this person, so distant, so.
Plus, you were 9 years old.
Yes.
Okay.
And I just, I was like, okay, this is it. Now what? I was very aware of who I was, how unusual I was from the get-go, And, of course, I went and met my father, and I thought he'd be living in, super poverty and super, like, I don't know, worse than where I was.
Yeah.
For some reason, I thought that, and it wasn't the case. He actually had a house, and I had a bed. That my experience there was amazing compared to what I prepared myself for.
Right.
I felt like I belonged there. I was treated like a queen, I will say, in the sense that I will do things that a Muslim woman won't do, girl won't do. I never wear a veil. Like, we're supposed to go to Quranic school, and I will never go. I'll play.
Okay.
I was very active. It was the best years of my life. Literally, I had 3 meals a day.
Yeah, from 1 to 3.
Yes, no, seriously. I had new clothing.
Uh-huh.
I had a bed. I was sleeping on a bed. I had shoes. I had everything, like a normal child.
Right.
And that culture, you embrace that culture because you felt like you belong. For one, someone claimed me. For one, I felt like, wow, it's not as bad as I don't know why people say this about the Muslim culture. And when you don't know something, you think everybody's bad.
Right.
And it's not. And it was great. I was going to school. Something that I thought I will never,
Yeah.
But I did suck at school. My dad even had a tutor. Our uncle was tutoring us. Like, oh my God, this is what she suck. But I was very active. I always liked to play. I always liked to organize things. And that was unusual. Usually you're supposed to be quiet. You're supposed to be on the side. But my dad loved my mom so much that he allowed me to exist in a space that there's no such a thing. Everybody's like, oh my God, she's spoiled. Oh my God. And I remember my stepmom always saying, but she's half she's half caste, so come on.
Oh God.
That was the excuse.
Right.
And so, until one day my mom decided that this is it. She needed me. So that would be, like, going to France was the first time, actually, I got to live with women.
Okay. Now she was in Paris.
Yes.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yes.
So that's when you were like 12?
Yes.
Okay.
So she came in totally, out of the blue. So I was like, okay, we're going to France. Apparently it's great down there. Boy, I hated France.
You hated France?
Oh, I absolutely detested France. My
Really?
experience there.
Okay.
My experience. It was awful.
Why? What was that?
Because, first of all, for once in my life, I find balance. I find people that I belong to. And being ripped out from that.
Oh, you had found that with your dad.
Yes.
Okay, and here a few years and you're finally settling in there. Now you're being
Yes.
picked up and moved to Paris.
Exactly. And moved down to Paris in a ghetto.
In a ghetto in Paris.
In a ghetto. It was like 2-bedroom. I was sleeping with someone in a bunk bed, my sisters,
Yeah.
in a bunk bed, and I have to do everything.
Is that
I
why
had to clean. I had to.
Is that why your
cook,
mom
I had to-
needed you?
Yes, exactly. She needed someone to
She
help.
needed help with all that because you
You
had
know?
9 siblings there.
Exactly. And I was like, okay, this is not going to be my life. And my escape was really TV.
Young
Yeah.
and the Restless.
Yes.
Is
It
that when
was-
you started watching that? Or
No,
was that not? Maybe not then.
No,
Okay.
then. I started with Cosby Show because I was
Okay.
actually watching Cosby Show in Ivory Coast with
Okay.
my dad.
Yeah.
And it was so funny because even back then, I thought Claire Extable was my mom.
What a great show that was.
Oh my God, it was an amazing show. I'm so sad about what happened.
I'm so
but-
sad too because that show
Yeah.
was phenomenal.
Yes,
it was
but I
like
need to
must-see viewing
detach.
in the 80s.
Yes.
Yeah, sure.
I need to be detached from his whole story, but I think he did something great.
I think he did
Because-
too, and that show. I mean, that show had a big impact on a lot of people. That was a great
my
example of
God.
just, what what a thriving, happy, healthy family can be like.
Yes.
And it was such a shocker when what happened with him. But I mean, you go back and watch the show, and just if you can detach,
Yes.
it is great and it is
Oh, it's
comforting. I mean,
amazing.
we watched it. Whenever it was on, all through the
religiously.
yeah. It was like
Religiously. I was in Africa. I remember I was sucking my tongue. And I'm like, that's my mom.
Claire Huxtable.
Yes. And I never even knew we were American because for us it was France.
Oh, right.
Yes, I never even heard of America, until I got to France.
Yeah.
So that's where I got my reality check.
Right.
What? You mean this woman, she's not here? You mean this couple, they're not here? And where are all the black people? They don't look like them. They're not
Right.
successful like them.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is crazy. And I love the American culture. For the young age, I felt fascinated by it because that's the only time I was empowered to be someone.
Mm-hmm.
Because we didn't have black people on TV.
Right.
In France, I mean, seriously, it was crazy. If you want to watch black people, it was Living Color, Arnold and Willie, I don't know, the little guy, and he got adopted by white.
Oh, Different Strokes.
Yes.
What you talking about, Willis?
Yes.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Yep.
So, I mean, I grew up, the only thing, literally I go to school, come back, clean the house, feed them, pick this one up here and there, and then sit down and watch TV.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't much of a reader. I was like, whatever. That was my education because back in the day, I mean, I don't even remember what my mom taught me. She never taught me anything. I had to
Yeah.
figure the whole shit out.
Yep.
Sorry.
No, that's all right.
No, but they don't teach you now. Like people say, "Oh, I never been taught." I'm like, figure the shit up.
Yeah,
I mean,
right.
I can't believe her, but I think it was a good thing because now I don't expect someone to. Nobody owe me anything.
Right.
I always figure
You
it
figured it
out.
out. You had to grow up fast, Mawa. You had massive responsibility at a
yes.
young age.
Oh yes.
I mean, that's a lot for a 13, 14, 15-year-old.
But in my culture, it's normal.
But it's normal, yeah, right?
Well, I never thought that it's so funny because for me it was such a normal thing that I never thought it was bad until I was on my own, and I'm like, oh, okay, I guess that was bad. And then you really need to put things in perspective. It was a good training.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't change anything.
Well,
because that built me to be resilient, to be, keep fighting, that I wouldn't have it. I wouldn't have that grip if it wasn't from that.
100%. That's right.
So, and I think my personality also type is taking charge. I think that was the best thing that my mom ever done. I always say that in our relationship, I'm the mom, she's the daughter, because she liked to party.
Is she still around?
Oh, honey, she's here.
Oh, is she here in Aspen?
Yes.
Oh, man.
She liked to party. She liked to. Oh my God, we look like a twin.
Oh man.
And I'm always like, dude, what are you doing? Like, can you do this with your daughter? Can you do this? We didn't have a relationship. We had, did you do this? Did you do that? The meal is not ready. Why?
Mm-hmm.
That was, she bring the bacon and I.
Yeah.
But, it was good because I did things my way and it was good. I learned a lot from TV. And I remember one of the most powerful things seen on a Cosby show, something that really literally changed my life. It was Claire Exable was trying to teach Theo, the value of things.
Mm-hmm.
It's because she didn't want him to be a statistic.
Right.
That resonated with me so bad. And I look around me and I'm like, we all look the same here. Mm-hmm. It was Arabic, Black, and we all have the same life.
Yeah.
And I'm like, we live in a ghetto. We can only shop here. We can only do that much in life.
Right.
All the people that I knew, I didn't know a lawyer. I didn't know a doctor. They're all cleaner. And they look after white people kids. Or they work at the post office. If you work at the post office, man, you have a job. You should be happy. Like, it's like, oh my God. Anything has to do with housekeeping, hotel, And I was like, this is not going to be my life. I didn't know what my life will be, but I knew that I didn't want that.
Yeah.
I said, whatever those people are, that's where I'm going. Whatever they have. Because it's so funny because I feel like, I have a hard time because I don't know where this come from. That, like, I knew it wasn't my life. I knew I wasn't going to, but I suck at school.
Mm-hmm.
I needed to go to a vocational school.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't speaking English, and I still was waiting for my citizenship. So, I had everything wrong, literally. and then I'm like, I don't care. I'm not. My mom, I'm like, one day I'm going to go to America because she can tell that I'm like, when there's the Cosby show, I live in color or any, I'm not doing anything. Don't even talk to me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is the only time I'm defiant.
Yeah.
Because that was my education. That was my thing. Because, there's something that they're doing that is working for them.
You saw something that was better than what you had
Yes.
and what you wanted to achieve. And it's it's objectively very clear that you figured out a way to manifest that.
Oh, yeah. I didn't even know what it was called back in the day.
Yeah, but it's interesting because like the school, all that stuff it's depending on your path in life. If you're going to be a doctor, like you have to go to school and get good grades, so you can get into medical school but there's so many careers, and hospitality is one of them. Where not to belittle the school system, it's important, but like you don't have to. I think it's so important. I talk to my kids about this. Like, I don't want you to make. I don't care if you make all A's. I truly, truly don't. I just want you to do the best that you're capable of doing. Whatever you're doing, just do your best, and you'll find the right path. And whatever you were doing, you were doing your best at it, and you found, a path here. And but here you are in France in the ghetto.
Yes.
Taking care of your siblings, working hard. You're watching TV, and you're seeing all this, what's happening over in America, and you're seeing the culture here, and you're like, that's what I want. So, how did you get when did you move to America? Yeah, how did that happen?
This is the funniest thing. So I finished school, and I moved out of my mom's house, and then I went to, but in between, I had a lot of crazy things. So, it's so funny because when you say, I will never clean a house, I will never look after children, I will never do this low-life job, I got off school, culinary school, nobody will employ me.
Where were you in culinary school?
In Paris.
In Paris, okay.
Yes, Saint-Germain-en-Laye.
Okay.
Saint-Germain. And I was like, this is crazy. Every single person in my school, like, they employ you before you finish, because back in the day, there's not many people who have experience.
Right.
And I'm like, Jesus, this is not work. Why is that? And I actually learned about a France that I didn't know. I never really experienced racism. It doesn't exist in our constitution, in French constitution, because everybody's equal.
Right.
And if you don't have money, they will make sure you get money, and then you can stay at home in a ghetto. They'll pay for everything as long as you stay over there. So it dawned on me, like, it was a reality check. I'm like, this is the France that I know. I mean, everybody and the mama that I know, they have a black person in their family.
Right.
It's like racial between black and white. It's number one, because we have so many colony, and we love African music. Everybody, like, it's like the Mexican culture here, I'll say.
Right. Yeah.
All right. I so into our culture, so I was like, I mean, this is crazy. I can't find a job. So I didn't want to go back to my parents' house, and I didn't want to look after children. But unfortunately, the only job I was good for, guess what? Look at other people's children. And I wanted to die.
So you're done with culinary school, can't get a job, and now you're babysitting.
Yes. And then the lady said to me, oh, you're the smart one, and you know how to cook. And I wanted to murder her. But I didn't tell her. Literally. And then, so you need to understand, when you look after children, there's different degree of responsibility, especially in France. It's a job. Actually, it's a job, like, for rich people. So you have my responsibility was unlimited because I spoke English. So meaning I can actually educate those kids. I had full responsibility. I make them do their homework. I make decision. So all that, I'm like, I don't care if I have full responsibility and I was paid well. The thing is, I will go to the playground and see all the black people, all the Arabic people, and I'd be so mad. This is the place that I didn't want to be. It was just something for me.
Right.
It's not like they were doing something wrong. It's just I would be so angry until I say, okay, I'm going to England. I'm going to America. So in order to go to America, you need to go to England, learn English, because of course I didn't speak a word. So I'm going to go to England. So I made a plan. I started making plan. So I did a year looking after children. So of course, the first job that I get in England, guess what? In order to go, it's au pair. And
You're
I'm
an au pair
like
in England.
living again.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what is that? This is the only thing I'm good for. So be it. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to do that only for 3 months. I'm not going to commit to a year.
Right.
Au pair for 3 months, and I went to Stratford and Upernavon. It wasn't even in London. And then it's where Shakespeare country is. So I had this wonderful family, amazing family. So the lady was always watching Oprah. This is the first time.
Okay.
This is the first time in my life that I see a white woman successful that is fascinated by a black woman.
Yeah, sure.
For me, it was a newsflash because I never thought a white person would be fascinated by a black person.
Yeah.
This is because how I was conditioned.
Right.
You know, like white is always better. You know, lighter is always better. So I asked her in French. So, what is about this woman? You know, it's not like she was pretty. She didn't look like Naomi Campbell. That's the only
Right.
person. You know,
Right.
she wasn't a singer. She was just talking, and I didn't understand anything because and then she's like, "This is one of the most powerful women in America," and I'm like, in my head, I'm like, she's on crack or something.
Yeah.
She can be. Because for me, for us, kind of, you know, okay, you need to be beautiful. If you're beautiful, you need skinny and look like Naomi Campbell. Yes, you have power.
Right.
You know,
right.
you're an artist. But Oprah, I was like, okay, dude. Okay, whatever. And she kept doing it every single day.
She's watching Oprah.
Religiously.
Yeah.
And if she's not there, she will record it and watch it.
Yep.
And I'm like, dude, she's the producer of Teletubbies.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? If it worked for her, worked for me too. So I sat with her, and I'm like, I'm going to learn English so fast because I want to understand what this woman is saying to empower this white woman.
Yes. Yes.
I mean, dude, this is like my aha moment. So I sat with her, and I started understanding a little bit, little by little. And really, this is the transformation actually started because Oprah. So we started with Claire Extable, The Cosby Show, and then we have Oprah.
Yeah.
That's where I'm like, okay, I can be successful, you know. And I remember she was talking about the seed of the soul with Gary Zukov back in the day. And honey, I never even read a book.
Mm-hmm.
Like literally.
This is a book she was, okay.
Yes, you're talking about
Oprah's book club.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
No. And that's where I went into self-help book.
Uh-huh.
And then I started reading. Slowly, but I started reading. And she was such a mentor and empowering. I'm enough. And it's good to have a dream. For the longest time, every time I had a dream, people like, I remember even my mom was like, you want to go to America? You can't even speak English. You suck at school. Dude,
Right.
look at where you are, a reality.
Yep.
You know, every single time. Oh, Mawa, she's pretty, but she's not going to go anywhere.
Right.
My life was to be, if I'm lucky, I'm going to get married to a good man. I'm going to have few kids. And I'm like, absolutely no. I say, I don't want to get married. No kid, okay?
You've had enough of that.
I am like, oh, absolutely. Like, no. My mom keep giving birth every freaking year.
Yeah. Yeah.
No. Diapers and, oh, Jesus, no. I was like, no. I don't want to see one. Like, and I'm never going to be married, and I'm going to be a feminist, and I'm going to be successful, and I am enough. And I can dream as big as I want. My dream was to come here.
Yeah.
Okay? And that's how the whole thing started. You know? Of course, I left this woman after 3 months, and then I got a job in a restaurant.
There in England?
Yeah.
In London?
But, yes.
Was it Stratford-upon-Avon?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And you know what, people, I know as racist as friends. Like, literally, like, I got a job, like, overnight. And I didn't even speak the language. You know? So I was like, wow, this is amazing.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, I'm England. I was in England, and I was very successful. But something wasn't right. I wasn't in America. I wanted to go to America.
Yeah.
I didn't have any plan. I didn't want to be like a lawyer or a cook, a chef or whatever. I never, It wasn't my dream. My dream is go to America. Anything else, I don't know.
Gotcha. Just
That was the big goal. It's
be
almost
here, and then you'll figure it out when you're here.
exactly.
Yeah.
And nothing was planned. And for years, I mean, I sent so many resume, over 100 resume to Disney because they're the biggest employer in France. You know?
Oh, right.
Yeah. Even since culinary school, everybody was talking about Disney. Because
Disney.
Disney was everybody. All my friends went, and I'm like, when you come to me, why they don't want me?
Yeah.
Never work out. I was so mad. So it's very annoying because from the time that I say I'm going to America, and when I got to America, it took me 10 years.
Really? 10 years?
10 years.
Wow. You were in England for 10 years? Well, no, because when you were in France is when you
yes.
first, yeah.
And
How long were you in England?
3 years.
3 years. Okay.
And I was like, okay, this is not going to work for me, I guess. And then I got a boyfriend. And I'm like, okay. So I was saving money, and I'm saying, I'm going to go, and I'm going to stay there illegally. So how long can I leave illegally? No, I had my plan because I was so sick and tired.
Yeah.
Because for some reason, I couldn't find a job. And so, because you needed a visa, so you needed to find a job in order to come. You can't just come on vacation.
Right.
You know, and I was like, okay, I'm going to save money. At least I can live there for a year, and then I'll figure out. You know, so I was working my butt off, and my boyfriend find a newspaper thing that say lottery to America, and I'm like, seriously, you know, this is a scam, right?
Yeah.
I told him, and he's like, no, it's real. I'm like, do you really think those people have a lottery for the green card in America?
Yeah.
Everybody will be in America. It was surreal to me. Never heard it.
Yep.
So he said, listen, if you win, we get married, we go together. If I win, we get married, we go together. I say, okay, whatever, but I'm not paying £20 for this.
20 pounds for the lottery for the green card.
Yes. So, of course, he played. By the time the result came in, we have split up. And, of course, the paper came in and say, oh, phase 1, you've been selected.
You, not him. You got selected.
Yeah, me.
Yeah,
Can you imagine?
Gotcha.
Me.
Yeah.
And I was like, you need to understand, I didn't believe it.
I was going to say, I mean, you seem like you weren't, you were just like, this is
a scam. I'm waiting for them to ask me for money.
Right. Oh, right.
So I'm
this
like,
is too good to be true.
Yes, like out of the blue, he play and I'm selected. I'm like, I'm waiting for them to ask for money. So they asked for my ID, my French ID, a copy of it, and things like that. So I send it. I'm like, I'm waiting for them. And then they send a big package with, all the things to fill out. And it comes from Kentucky. And I'm like, this is weird.
What year is this?
2001.
Okay, gotcha.
And I was like, this is weird. So I went to the human resources and where I was working, and I said, do you know this about the lottery? Can you look at this and let me know if, we really do this? She's like, Mawa, this is real. I'm like, what do you mean real? Like, literally, if I fill all of this thing out and I get selected again, she's like, yes, duh. And I'm like, this cannot be true. Come on. This is like surreal. I've been waiting all these years. Now you're going to tell me I'm just going to get a green card?
Yeah.
As long as I'm not a criminal?
Name in a lottery and ex-boyfriend paid the 20 pounds. And
exactly.
Yeah.
And I'm not even like, I'm working in a restaurant. I'm not like a scientific or whatever.
Yeah, right.
And she's like, yes, just fill it out and send it back. I filled it out and I sent it back. And they say, okay. And then because of September 11, I think everything got delayed.
Yeah.
And so it took them a little while.
Right.
And then they say, okay, we got your appointment. Now you need to go pass the physical test. That's the only thing I have to pay. So when you pass your physical test, then you have an appointment with one of the officer.
Okay.
And, you have fingerprint and all that. So I go, I'm like, really not, I'm going. And I did a physical test. Even there, I was still septic until I went to the embassy. I'm like, this shit is real.
Yeah.
But meanwhile, you know what I did? Meanwhile, there's a company that actually for first time in my freaking life that I've been sending my resume, okay, answer me. Kennebunkport, Maine.
Wow.
The White Barn Inn.
What is it?
The Kennebunkport, Maine.
Yeah. What was the name of
The White Barn Inn.
Okay, the White Barn Inn in Kennebunkport.
Yes. They say, oh, we have a position for you, and we do the visa. And I'm like, this is so funny.
This is amazing.
This is amazing. So I was working on both, being very careful about the lottery.
Yeah.
And of course, I got it. The day that I got the green card, the green light, after my interview, the next day I had an interview for the White Barn Inn in London. And I'm like, I have the green card. I cried. I got out of the officer, and I cried because I couldn't believe. I'm like, it was such a thing that I thought I'd never gonna achieve that. It's never gonna happen, and now I have it, and I'm like, what now? What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
So I went to the other interview, and the guy said, oh yeah, we're gonna do everything. I said, no, you don't need to do anything for me. I already have a green card. He'd look at me and say, really? I'm like, yeah, I won the lottery. He said, okay, you can come. I said, well, you can come early then. Can you come next month? And I'm like, honey, I'm already on the plane. Like, it took me.
You're welling up just remembering that.
Oh, yeah, no. It took me not even less than a month to get out of London and to go to Kennebunkport, Maine. I had no clue where the place was.
Where did you fly into?
Boston.
Boston. So the first time you ever came, you were on a plane, you fly into Boston.
Yes.
That's the first time you stepped foot in America.
Yes. And I said to myself, I cried because I couldn't believe it. And literally, these people from Kennebunkport, Maine, my boss, sent a car to pick me up.
Wow.
I was a princess.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you were.
And I'm like, I said to myself, okay, I'm going to go Kennebunkport, Maine. And then once I get there, I will go to California or somewhere. Aspen was something that I was thinking as a vacation. It's like the romantic, because I saw it in Young and Restless.
You saw it. You mentioned that in your. So when did you? Was it when you got here that you?
No.
This was back
before in France when I was watching the Cosby Show and all that. It was the Young and Restless been there for 30 years. I mean, seriously.
It's still got the same people, doesn't it? Isn't Victor Newman still on it now?
Yes, and they haven't changed. Literally, I'm like, dude, you don't grow.
It's amazing. I watched it like in the 80s. Like I was in love with Nikki Newman when I was like a 13-year-old boy. And I think she's still on there,
yes.
Jack. And
oh my God.
That's amazing.
Seriously, I'm like, dude, they had a romantic. Actually, it was Victor and his new girlfriend. They was getting off the jets, and it looked like Pleasantville. I mean, the snow,
in
little,
Aspen.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, the little chalet, and I was like, oh my God, I'm going to Aspen. It's such a romantic. It was all emotional. It wasn't like I have to go to Aspen. No, It was just it felt good. You know, when people would talk about the Alp in France, I was like, dude, no. So one other thing that I wanted to mention, even though we were living in a ghetto, we did have a good life. Mm-hmm. A good life, meaning we got to go ski.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we got to go on vacation.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's the French system.
Yeah.
This is the funniest thing. So you don't know that you're a slave because you get fed.
Right.
And you get the same privilege, but you know that you're limited where you're going.
Right.
In life.
Right.
So you don't even know that.
Yes.
Yes, like my parent could never afford anything.
Yeah.
So like I never pay for a bus
Right.
because we had so many kids. If I pay $1, you say thank you Jesus. I'll go on vacation all the time in France.
Right.
South of France. We have I don't know how you say that. We call it colonie de vacances. Summer camp. Okay.
Okay,
Yeah, summer
yeah.
camp. My parents never paid a dime. I went to culinary school. The only thing I had to pay, it was my knives. But like, because of the system, we always had that.
Right.
Yes, I didn't get to play piano maybe, but who cares? We're in a
Yeah.
ghetto. We don't play piano.
Right. Right.
So that's one of the things. So I knew of all those things, skiing and vacation, good life. And so I went to Maine, and the funniest thing happened. So I didn't know that Maine was Bush, the president house. They had the summer house, and
Yeah.
that's where they all was. And again, back in the day, I said, because I was so like infatuated with America. I always said to my mom, I'm going to go to America and I'm going to meet the president.
Oh man.
No. This is what I'm saying. It's like surreal. I felt like someone designed my life. I just didn't know about it.
Yeah.
I always say, she's like,
But you said you were going to meet the president.
yes, I said, I'm going to go to America and I'm going to meet the president. I'm like, she's like,
Yeah. Right.
she's actually crazy.
Yeah.
My daughter, she has such an imagination, And I'm like, even my friends, I said, I'm going to get to America and I'm going to meet the president. I end up in Kennebunkport, Maine. Oh, I said that I was going to marry Denzel, but that didn't happen, okay? That's the only thing that was wrong. I was like, I'm going to marry Denzel Washington,
You never know. You may meet him one day, though. You got a wonderful husband now, but maybe Denzel will come in here and you'll get to hang with him.
Exactly. So I end up in Kennebunkport, Maine, in the middle of nowhere. I'm like, where's all the black people? None, zero.
Right.
No, seriously, I'm like,
Yeah.
what the fuck? Where's Claire Extable? I mean, at least a little bit more black people.
Yeah.
Nothing, zero. I was the only one,
Yeah.
because I came in April 2002, and the season hadn't started yet. It started in June. And I was like, oh my God. And everybody, I realized that, there's Bush picture everywhere, the father and the son. I didn't care about politics. I don't care.
Right.
And then I was working at the White Barn Inn and another restaurant called Striper Fish Shack.
Uh-huh.
And it was 5 of us, 5 girls. We looked like Spice Girl. I was the black one. I had long hair. Okay, purple, curly, very sassy Mawa,
Yeah.
Gorgeous. I need to say I was amazing, gorgeous.
You still are. And you had the long hair. It's the picture that Dave mentioned last night when you had longer hair. It was
Yes, that's, I knew I wasn't, like, I didn't have a PhD, but I know I was gorgeous. So I was working at the fish shack as a server, and the phone rang, and we're like, oh, the president's gonna come, and blah,
Oh,
blah,
wow.
blah. Yeah, and I'm like, yeah, I thought it was a joke, so I hung
Right.
up the phone. They call again, and I'm like, dude, I know. Thank you. So I'm standing outside at Striper. It's literally, the place is like small like this. It's a fish shack.
Right.
The president is not coming to the fish shack. He's going to the White Barn Inn.
Yeah.
Okay. Half an hour after I hang up the phone, you got like 4 different vans coming.
Wow.
Black van.
Yeah.
And I'm looking
Secret
at,
Service?
Yes. I went hide in the bathroom. Because the way they drive like boom, boom, boom.
Right.
And I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I went hide in the bathroom, and the manager's like, Mawa. I'm like, is that the president for real? They're like, yes. and you have to serve him because you're experienced server. And I'm like, I'm black. I don't serve presidents.
So you were serving at the time. You weren't cooking. You were out serving. Okay.
That's where the money
That's
was.
where the money was, right? Yeah.
Oh my God. This is one thing I learned about America, honey.
Mm-hmm.
Serving is where I didn't want to get paid $12.
Yeah, right. Back in the kitchen. Yeah.
Yes. And you get yelled at and I was like, oh, hell to the no. I'm like, oh, I got a taste of money. No cooking here.
Yeah, right.
And more I smiled, more money I made.
Yeah.
I was beautiful.
Yeah.
So
you're out there and the manager's like, you were going to serve the table that the president's sitting at.
Yes. And I'm like, I'm not. Because I'm like, no, but you don't understand, I'm black. This is reserved for the other people. Again, my freaking mind.
Right. Well, you were conditioned for so long.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So
yeah.
Anything that is important, and he's like, well, if you don't come out, you're fired. And I'm like, seriously? I'm coming out. I don't know protocol. I don't know anything. It's try for fish shack. But apparently those people, they don't care. They go everywhere because is it 41 and 43? Or, the dad and the
George
son.
W. was
Yes.
43, right? So he was the president at the time. Because this is like 2002, right?
Yes.
But this is like less than a year after September 11th.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Yes.
Okay, yeah, right.
So it was the dad, the former president.
Oh my God, he was there too?
Yes.
Oh my God, I got
Barbara,
chills.
Laura.
Whoa. Holy cow.
Because, okay, what's this? So Walker Point, it's 2 miles from that restaurant.
Okay. Is that where they have their
Yeah, that's the campground.
Yeah.
The house. And I was like, really? Am I that lucky?
Yeah.
I'm going, and nobody say anything to me, So I'm like, okay, what do I say? What do I say? What do I do? And I'm like, okay. They're like, just go serve. Because none of us were trained to say, I don't know, or maybe there's a protocol.
Right.
Nothing. Just go serve.
Yeah.
So I'm going, hi guys. Hi guys, Mawa.
Well, it's what they were looking for though at the fish shack, probably.
Yes.
I mean, that's
because this is where the summer vacation, family vacations, they don't do no protocol.
Yeah, they didn't want white tablecloth, white glove. Like
they go to the white bunny for that.
Yeah, right.
This is now, it's now, they don't care. Relax, they were normal. And I'm going there and literally I'm like, hi, and I'm shaking. I'm like, I'm losing my shit. And the dad stood up and said, you're going to be okay. And I'm like, this is empire. Can you imagine? This dude,
my gosh. Because he knew you were nervous.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, they probably can spot that real fast.
He
probably
holds my
see it a
hand,
lot.
literally. It's like, you're going to be fine.
Oh, man.
And I'm like, I've been blessed. This is it.
Wow.
And then I put the order, I went to the kitchen, and I was like, oh my God, I can't believe. And I mean, they did, it's not fancy, it's nothing. It's just
right.
Fish and chips and salad and clam chowder. I remember, trust me, I remember like yesterday.
Wow.
And then, but the greatest thing, they're so gracious, okay? The greatest thing that we ever did, because honestly, I thought I'm going to get fired. Because you can tell I was like losing my shit.
Yeah.
And I didn't know how to say, what to say and all that. I stumble a lot because I couldn't look every single one of them in the eye.
Yeah.
So I'm like, this is the most powerful people in America.
Right.
Okay. And then we finished their dinner. They're leaving. And the president say, she's a keeper. I hope I see her next time. So I say, you can't fire me now.
Wow. That's so special.
Oh my
man.
God. Since then.
Did that I mean, obviously it gave you that boost of confidence you needed for that job, but that's a transformational experience, I would think, in terms of like, because you've been talking a lot about your mindset and how you were conditioned, and so.
No, it was amazing, and honestly, that experience. Since then, I become their waiter. I even got invited to Walker Point. That's the campground.
Wow.
Amazing family. I know every single person, and everybody calling me Mawa Bush.
Oh my God, Mawa.
Even if I was off, I would come in because, over here, and then also that one of the reason why wintertime, the first time I said, because honestly, who want to be in Maine wintertime? Okay.
Yeah.
Beside of my experience with the Bush family, I thought that Kennebungport, I didn't really care. I mean, and in my job, it wasn't anything special. So when my boss asked me, "Oh, is he anywhere else you want to go?" Because the summer are harsh here.
Yeah.
I mean, the winter are harsh here. And I say, I'm going to go to Aspen like all the bougie people. Like, literally, as a joke, I was literally opening the door and leaving his office. And he's like, okay, I will arrange that. I'm like, are you serious? He's like, yes. Because you need to understand that the White Barn Inn was a relay chateau. And then there is a relay chateau here in Aspen, and that's the Little Nail.
Little Nail. Okay.
Yeah, so like they trade staff all the time, and that's normal.
Yeah. Okay.
So he's like, I'm going to Aspen, like all the bougie people. So what am I going to do there? He's like, well, you're going to be waiter, but you need to come back because the Bush family is here. Thank you very much. We love you. So I'm like, okay. And I came back for 5 years. I did summer, winter, summer, winter.
When did you first come out here?
2002.
Oh, so that year. Okay.
Yes.
So you started going back and forth.
Yes. Summer, winter. And I was like, I got tired of this shit.
God, your experience in America, you go from Kennebunkport to Aspen, back and forth for 5 years.
Yes, and I'm like, where's all the black people? I come here.
I was going to say,
but it seems like
that's a ritzy version of our country.
Yes, but you know what? Everything was calling me to be rich. I think that's what it is.
I think so, Mawa.
I'm hanging out with all the rich people, all the influenced people. I mean, we have the 1% here.
Yeah, you know what? You said something earlier. It was interesting because, like when you were in France, you're living in the ghetto, you had no what you would call, I guess, social capital. Like
No.
you couldn't call like a doctor or a lawyer or like now you have connections with,
Honey, I have connection with everybody.
With everything. That's social capital. That's very different from having money. That's an invaluable resource that you've developed for yourself.
And I've always been fascinated of how people treated me. Like they always treated me, oh, you're different. I'm like, why I'm different? Like,
what do you mean, like people like that you're different? Because you said that very early on that you were different, like at the beginning of our conversation.
I'm like, in what way? I know that I am now your typical, maybe whatever it's called, typical black person or black woman. Because I spoke 4 languages, and maybe I don't know. It was weird. Like people will come to the nail and be like, "Oh my God, you're so different." I'm like, "What? In what way?"
Yeah.
Like I'm not your nanny.
Yeah.
But I always felt like when people say that, I was like, okay, I'm different in the sense that, okay, I'll have power over what we're gonna eat. Even when I started my business, literally, when I started my business is because I was at a little nail, and one of the guests had a party. It was Christmas, and then she said, "Hey, can you help us out?" And I went to the house, and it was a national disaster. Dude, you don't know how to cook? Hire a freaking private chef.
Yeah.
But that was an opportunity for me. So I'm like, okay, I can see that she was frustrated and nothing was working. I'm like, okay, put yourself on.
I got this.
I got this.
Taking control.
Yes, and I called my girlfriend. She came, Mirka, she came in and she served, and I did the whole thing. And she's like, "So why are you not a chef?" Because I make more money here as a server.
Yeah. Yeah.
So why would I, why would I do that? I love to cook. I love cooking. But like I said to myself, I don't want to be paid like nothing. And I am not willing to reinvent the system. And I'm not going to find you with the boys in the kitchen, because I did that.
Yeah.
Nothing came out of it.
Right.
So why would I suggest myself to there again? If I cook, it's going to be on my own term.
Right.
I didn't tell her that. I'm like, whatever, dude,
Yeah.
just pay me and I'll be on my way. And then she said to me, okay, next time I come, you're going to cook for me. I'm like, okay. And I asked the little Nell, so how much is a private chef? Between 50 and 75 an hour. And I'm like, oh God, Jesus.
Sign me up.
Sign me up.
Yeah.
I'm down.
Yeah.
You shitting me? Versus $13 or $14 in the kitchen.
Right. Yep.
Okay? All day long.
Yeah.
They barely can pay for the housing here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? I mean,
Were you living here in Aspen, or did you
Yes.
have to? You were, okay.
yes, because I have an accommodation with the little Nell.
Oh, right there. Okay, got it.
Oh, yes.
Got it, yeah. So
We
they'll
have
put you up.
our room.
Okay.
Okay, and I'm like, dude, this is insane.
Yeah.
So I started my business, and everything is history.
Everything is history. There's been a lot of history since you started that.
Yeah. So
You are your energy is very it's contagious. You have a
Thank you.
wonderful, bright, optimistic energy flowing from you, and I can see why people would be attracted to you. I mean, you're.
Thank you.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. And your story is, since you've been here and you've had multiple, that business, we don't have to get in each one of them. That you iterated multiple times.
Yes.
Things would work, and then you have your hands in a lot of things. Like you even now, I mean, you have your, what is the grain-free granola called?
Oh, grain granola. Mawa's grain granola.
I want to try some of that.
That's my COVID baby.
Your COVID baby.
Yeah, that's my COVID. I call it my COVID baby. No, but like the thing is, the reason why I watched a TV, a Netflix. It was a Netflix about High on a Hawk.
I don't know that one.
Okay.
Oh wait, High on the Hawk.
Yes.
Oh wait.
Yeah.
I've heard of that.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was the thing about black people, the origin of the soul food and food.
Yeah.
And it was so empowering. And I said to myself, literally, I'm not a writer. I'm not nothing. I said to myself, how do I want to be remembered?
Yeah.
And particularly, there's one episode that they said that the slave, they barely wrote anything. Okay? So it was hard for them to find things, the recipes of things and mac and cheese or, all those,
Yeah.
how the cuisine evolved to become what we have now. And I said to myself, dude, Mawa, you are the only female black-owned restaurant in Aspen.
Right.
I already feel privileged. Kind of a double sword, because I actually gave them something. But I feel already privileged to have that position, to be here.
Yeah.
But what do I want to tell someone else who want to come?
Mm-hmm.
Why do I want to tell another African woman? Because, I'm African, French, American.
Right.
It's not just, I was born, I have different history than the African American people here.
Yeah.
What do I want to tell 18 years old that come out of culinary school and go to another mountain town,
Yeah.
or come here and say, "Oh, I decided I'm gonna cook. I don't know, whatever,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna have a restaurant here."
Yeah.
What do I want to tell that person? Oh, even a young woman who a Thai woman who want to put a Thai place here. What do I want to put, and what will be my legacy?
Yeah.
And I don't want them to think that it was easy. I don't want them to think that I was successful. Just because people talk about you, it doesn't mean that you made it. People talk about you because they talk about you, good
Yeah.
or bad. For me, if you ask me, I am not successful. I'm not, because my success is when my bank account is not at zero. I may have a lot of business. It may look like, oh my God, she has this, but that doesn't translate. I have 10 people that chain in my wallet every freaking month since I've been here for the past 20 years.
Yeah.
Okay? It's not like, oh, I work and then I use my money and I have so much fun, and this is not my life.
Yeah.
Okay? I want those people to know. I want my family to be empowered by me.
Yeah.
To know that, living in the ghetto, that's not going to be their story.
Yeah.
What is generation wealth? I want to create more. I want to give more impact. Because today, everybody's like, oh, I can't do this. Oh, this is too hard on my own. Oh, my God, I can't stand it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I really want to impact people. I know Aspen is hard. It's, you know what? If you can succeed in Aspen, you can succeed anywhere.
Yeah.
It's a seasonal place. Everything is very expensive. And opening a restaurant in Aspen, honey, you need to be crazy.
Well, that's why when I asked Dave that last night, like, why don't you bring the post here? He's like, heck no, seasonal.
See,
and he's a,
exactly
successful veteran restaurant owner. He's like, man,
Exactly.
I couldn't do it, yeah.
That's why. So what people see as having a lot of different businesses is a lot of revenue stream, because we only work 6 months out of the year. And you need to understand, me compared to someone else in downtown Aspen, because I am not downtown Aspen. I am where people will go, it's the ghetto.
Well, I mean, you're across from the airport. You need, like, it's not,
business center. So it's not.
Yeah,
it's
they're not going to get off the ski slopes and then walk to your restaurant. They have to get. It's 15 minutes from town.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So what happened is I couldn't find a space.
Yeah.
In town, and I say, okay, this is the space that I can afford.
Yeah.
I don't have investors. Nobody gave me a dime to be able to do this. So little by little, I built it. And while it was very painful to build, and every time I felt like, okay, there's no progress. There's no, everything that I touched became go to flame.
Yeah.
I mean, I felt like there's no progress. There's no progress. Why did I do this? Why that suggest? But I can't give up. This is the like I need to have the courage to give up. But I'm like, my brain can't. You know what I mean?
Well, I think it's a huge part of what I hope people would learn from your story. I mean, you went from sleeping under a table,
yes,
in
having
a
one
home
meal
that was not even your, and having one meal a day in a home, being raised by somebody that's not even your mom and dad, to here we are sitting in your restaurant in Aspen, Colorado. I mean, it's a freaking amazing story, and it is definitely a story of grit and resilience and learning from errors and iterating and just dogged determination. And that's such a, gosh, I feel like that's such an important quality that is becoming less common these days. And I feel like there's a lot of the generation that, I have kids, like, and I just see a lot of like,
it's too hard.
Yeah, that's too hard. I don't want to do that.
Yes.
And it's. I mean, I got to imagine it's probably very. I mean, I can't tell me about finding people to work for you here.
Oh my God!
I can't. That's got to be.
Nobody want to work for me. That's why I have my whole family working.
Your whole family.
I'm like, if you want money, You need to come and work.
I mean, especially since COVID. I mean, and I guess maybe it's getting a little better, but I feel like,
No,
I mean, the
in
entire
Aspen.
industry, like
No, in
through
Aspen.
COVID, it's like everybody left the industry, and it's like finding people just to. I told my kids, I'm like, look, like if you go work in a restaurant, just do these things. Show up when you're supposed to. Like, just go, like, do everything that they ask you to do, and take great care of the people that you work with and your customers. Look people in the eye, you know, be polite, like the basic common, like, things that we'd be like, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
But like, if you're just doing that now, you're going to be like a hero, and
Absolutely.
like, just be there when you're supposed to be there. Like, make it about, not about you, make it about, you know, your employer and your customers.
You
And
need to be disciplined. There's no discipline nowadays. I want to tell you what, when people come, and not many people apply at Mawa's because they know my reputation.
what's your reputation?
Oh, honey, you're not going to get away with anything. She doesn't care.
Yeah.
Like, you need to do your job. You need to show up on time.
Yeah.
And you need to work.
Yeah, and don't give me a sob story, because like,
I don't care.
Yeah, well,
Like,
I mean,
I don't.
it's
Oh my
like,
God, I
you want to
am
hear
like-
my story?
I'm like, I don't care.
Dude, I was sleeping
like-
under a table, and
Yes.
like when
Oh my God. Like, I am the. I won't say I'm not compassionate, but like, I can't stand it.
You know, it's interesting. There's just different levels of. It's hard. Like, there's different levels of poverty and, you know, hard upbringings. But I mean, go to the, you know, go to Calcutta, India. There's people living literally in trash heaps. Like, they live in
Yes.
trash heaps.
Yes.
Like, it's hard to, but there's no context now because people don't understand. We have it so freaking good in America that a lot of people just have no clue, like, that, you know.
That's why I always say that even with the hardship, I feel privileged.
Yeah.
You know, to be here, at least I have the opportunity to create, to do something.
Exactly.
You know, one of the things that I learned is, guess what? Nobody owe you anything. So
Amen.
no, because today's society, oh, you need this, we need to. I'm like, no.
Yeah, I deserve this, or I
Like,
deserve that.
my mom and dad gave birth to me, and that was it.
Yeah.
I didn't expect anything from them,
Yeah.
and I don't blame it. You know, anybody will listen to my story and be like, oh my God, I felt bad about her. And this is the funniest thing. This is why when I first got here, you will never see me. People are surprised. Most of the Aspen that are surprised because they're like, I did not know, because she always act like a brat. Because I didn't want to be judged because I was Black from Africa and I was living under the table. This is not the stigma, and this is not how I want people to remember me. But now I feel like it's important because I got so much press, and I'm like, y'all get it wrong, because if someone is reading this, they're gonna think that, oh, is this girl from Paris who show up in Aspen? And
Yeah, right.
no, honey. And she bought a building and she has all this restaurant. No.
Yeah.
And this is I had to change my story. But when I came here, this is not the story I wanted to tell.
Yeah.
Okay? I didn't want to tell about my failure. I didn't want to tell. So that's why I wrote the book. And this is not, I'm going to write version of a book coming.
Yeah.
Okay? My view from the top. I'm not there yet, but when I'm there, that's going to be the title. Because when you're on top, has nothing to do with financially. It's when you're on top and you look at, oh my God, all the lesson where you were and what happened,
Yeah.
you understand a lot more. You're wiser,
Yeah.
you know. So it has nothing to do with money. It's just now that I'm getting it. Okay, what is my purpose really? What do I want to do? How I want to empower people? I mean, it's not a coincidence that with the grace of God, I achieve everything that I say I put my mind to. But for the longest time, I didn't know.
Yeah.
I thought I was working backward. I'm like, I can't believe I came to America and I'm a failure. You know, I thought this is going to give me opportunity. You know,
Yeah.
and then
You got the opportunity to fail and learn.
yes, and nobody ever told me that failure, it's okay. That's why I had to pay money to go to learn that from
Yeah.
Tony Robbins.
Yeah. Right.
No, seriously. Oh, I love self-help book.
Yeah.
You know, if I don't know something, I'll go and find out. When I'm depressed, I'm going and find out.
You read Tony Robbins?
Oh, honey,
Yeah.
I did all these seminar.
Oh, you did?
Oh, yes.
He's I mean, he's been at it a long time.
Because in order to go through, honestly, what I went through the past 10 years,
Yeah.
if I didn't have Tony Robbins teaching,
Yeah.
I wouldn't be as strong as I am.
Isn't it amazing? Don't you, like, it's fascinating to me that reality is neutral, and then the way you perceive it.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can take this and you could have been depressed and, you know, and easily, and people, you know, like, oh gosh, now I've got $1 million in debt. I've had businesses that haven't worked.
Oh, yeah.
You know, we've
But clean toilets.
cleaning, yeah, and like you.
Do you know
so
I
you
used to clean this building? Like this is the
building. That,
I used to clean this building. Even during COVID, I was cleaning this building.
wow. Because you and your husband were doing all kinds of
Yes,
stuff.
and
You
he
guys
was-
were working your tails off, like in multiple
to
jobs.
keep my to keep my hobby alive.
Yeah.
A hobby that I was like, what am I doing?
Yeah.
And people ask me, oh, do you love cooking? I'm like, no. This is the only thing I know how to.
Yeah.
You know? And I was like, I mean, this is not working for us.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, and one of the things that we need to say, Dave was huge.
Dave Query.
Huge in my transformation.
Yeah.
He doesn't like me to talk about him, but I need to say it.
Yeah, because he's a humble dude, but I
No,
don't
but
mind talking about him. He's one of the
No.
most amazing guys
Okay.
I've come across.
Please, let's
talk about Dave.
Okay. So, I don't know Dave. I never asked for anything. I don't know anybody. Okay? I mean, literally drowning here during COVID. Trying to get PPP.
Yeah.
All these bougie ass people,
Yeah.
they got the PPP, and somehow, I don't know, I'm like, dude,
Right.
okay, paperwork after paperwork.
Yeah.
And then the city of Aspen has the gut to give money, you know, for rent for people, for restaurant in Aspen. And apparently I am part of Pekin County.
Oh, you're not within the city limits or something? Oh.
And I'm like, okay, but I pay my taxes. So who
Yeah.
I belong to then? This
Yeah.
is the funniest thing. So who's supposed to do that? Do you know what the Pekin County told me? We take care of individual who we need to help to pay their rent.
Right.
Aspen's supposed to take care of businesses. I say, yeah, but Aspen say I am not in the limit. So who is? I'm in my own island here. Basically, yes. I'm like, you guys are fucking crazy.
Yeah.
All those restaurants in Aspen are owned by billionaires. They don't need the money.
They're fine. Yeah,
Okay?
exactly. They're going
I
to be
need
just
the money.
fine. Yeah.
I am selling sandwiches for $12. Okay, I can barely make it.
Yeah.
So you guys gonna pay their rent, and I'm here, and everybody's okay with that.
Yeah.
You guys must be kidding me. And you know what? I never use race for anything. You're never gonna. It's a touchy subject for me. You know. Besides, you know, I know it exists, but unless you experience, you don't say anything about it.
Yeah.
And I don't think it was my race. It's just they didn't think about it.
Yeah.
Oh, but all businesses here,
Yeah.
you know, they just city limits. Someone say, okay, I'm gonna take care of this, and the other one say, I'm gonna take care of it. But what about us here?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, and I was like, I could have taken that in a different context. You know,
Yeah.
saying we're just racist because I'm not. No, I'm like, oh, honey. So I even call Denver, the SBA, and all that minority, and then they're like, oh, sorry, Aspen should have a fund for minority. They don't have it, never had.
Yeah.
I'm the only
Well,
minority.
you're only right. Yeah.
So I called them and I said to the mayor, I say, where's the minority fund? I said, well, it's going to take a couple of years to get that because we never had it and this
Yeah.
is new to us.
Yeah.
I said, dude, you guys should have, for women, we have so many women in business here.
Right.
You know, forget about, I'm in a restaurant and I'm black. Think about all the mom and pop business, and I realized there's no mom and pop business.
In
Aspen.
Aspen. No. No.
Do you understand?
Yeah. Oh, I totally understand.
And I was like, oh my God, it dawned on me. I was like, holy shit. Yeah. Okay, so how are we going to do this? And then I was like, and you need to understand, it was during COVID, and our restaurant, you can sit only 20 people.
Yeah.
Okay? And then they say 6 feet or whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm like, might as well close, huh?
Might as well close. Right. There's nowhere to sit because you didn't have this space then, right?
No.
Like, so you were just over there. So this is when, okay, so
This is where,
this is when Dave called
yes,
you. Okay.
yes. So, and I'm like, this is horrible. We can't do anything.
Yeah.
So we need to expand.
Yeah.
We need to expand. And then they were an office where we have the bar right now. And they said that they're leaving. And I said to my landlord, well, I need that space because so I can spread people out, you know? And he's like, you can pay because you're not getting any deal with me. And I'm like, dude, I will pay. Just give me that space. Anyway, nobody's going to rent it. It's going to be sitting there.
Yeah.
So he's like, okay, you can have it until COVID is over. So, but we didn't have table. So we were cutting our table. Some of those tables, we cut them in half to just...
Wow.
And then we had a reporter, someone called me, and I was so furious. I'm like, why are you calling me? Don't how the COVID, blah, blah, blah. I don't give a fuck because guess what? I'm trying to survive. I haven't paid my rent. I'm waiting for my PPP. Somehow I'm the only person who can't get PPP in Aspen. Okay,
God,
I'm trying to
amazing.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how to keep running this business. Okay. And then, you know, right now I'm remodeling with my credit card. You know, like we have a bunch of credit cards. We swap everything, trying to, you know, to make it appealing. You know, I'm like, okay, what can we do? Everybody want homemade food. So let's start with homemade food. I wanted a rotisserie, maybe, you know, just rotisserie chicken.
Yeah.
With some side.
Yeah.
I don't have a rotisserie machine. I don't have none of it, you know. And I'm like, because you need to think fast. So I was telling her how disappointed I was about everything that happened. And I feel like, again, I deserve help.
Yeah.
But you know what? Nobody owed you anything, Mawa. I remember that. So
right.
That lady, somehow she took my story and she called Dave. And Dave's like, call me. And I'm like, who's this dude?
Right.
No, I don't need charity. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Yeah.
It's like, no. You come over here and you tell me what you need and you go to my storage and pick what you need.
Yeah.
Stop cutting your table.
Right.
No. I mean, how many restaurateurs will say that to you?
Yeah.
And you need to understand. And he said, you can stay at my place. I mean, we need to rent. We rented a U-Haul to go to Denver. My brother, my husband, and I. I mean, he brought his whole team. How I can make meal packages. Every single one of his team help us.
Yeah.
Okay, I mean financially, educate me more about how to maximize cost.
Yeah.
You know, how to schedule people, things that I can do to, you know, to pass COVID.
Yeah.
I mean, do you know how many people that was? A lot of people.
Yeah.
Okay, his HR person.
Yeah.
I was like, it took the whole day. So those people, he paid for those. I didn't, one dime, nothing.
Yeah.
You never asked for anything. Do you know many people who are going to do that?
No, I don't. I mean, Dave, and by the way, for those listening, this is Dave Query that we're talking about, who is the founder of Big Red F out of Boulder, and has become a dear friend to me and to Mawa.
He's my advisor now.
He gave you good advice last night. It's amazing. He's one of the kindest, like most. Dave is just a genuine, authentic. He's an incredible dude. No doubt about it.
And you know what's the funniest thing? I see people all the time in Denver. Oh, we're doing this for a restaurant. We're doing this. You know what? Dave does way more. Literally, if I'm in business today, It's
Yeah.
because of him.
That's
And
amazing.
he even helped me how to maximize. My granola, same packaging.
Yeah.
I went to his house and I stayed there. And he brought his friend. He said, okay, this is good. Tell the story, blah, 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 blah. I needed that. I can't afford someone like him
Yeah, exactly.
for free.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously. I got a place to stay. I got advice. I apply. Even to buy this building.
Yeah.
I called Dave. Again, he was there.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it's so crazy. People are like, you know what? He should be recognized for this.
Yeah.
Always helping. I mean, he has like, I don't know, 20 restaurant.
Yeah, he got a lot of restaurants. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's an amazing guy. And you know what? It's you've done a great job of taking that advice and deploying it. And the cool thing is you're gonna have that role one day. Somebody's gonna call you, or you're gonna call somebody. You're gonna reach out and provide that same. Because you're certainly an inspiration. I mean, for so many people. And
that's good.
Mawa, I mean, your story's incredible. I mean, it really is. And because I think about what about like you said, like a young girl living in Thailand that has a dream of coming to America one day and start. I mean, you really have an amazing story. You need to be on Oprah. If your folks are listening to this podcast, you need to get Mawa on your. You need to be on Oprah.
She's the only person I haven't met. I met Barack. I met Michelle. This is the only person.
You haven't met Oprah yet? Oprah. You got to come to Aspen. She's got to come to Aspen and hang out here.
I was like, dude, Oprah, you need to come here. Because
Oprah and Denzel.
Yes. They're my bucket list.
They're your bucket list. Well, you still got time. So
Yes. No, you know what? Honestly. Okay, now I'm going to tell you something. I know for sure I'm going to meet Oprah. But I'm not going to go and meet Oprah. Oprah's going to open the door of his kitchen.
And come in here.
Come in here and see me.
I love it.
This is what I put in the universe. I'm not going to chase her.
Yeah.
She's going to come here.
Yeah.
She might be lost, but she's going to come here and come see me. She's going to taste my food.
Yeah.
I say, okay, you did a good job, Oprah. Really. So it's going to happen.
Well, tell it. Okay, so you did. I can't believe that cookbook is self-published.
Yes.
Did you try? You tried to get it published, and you couldn't get anybody to do it?
No, I'm nobody. So why do we will do that?
So somebody would totally publish that. Like
no,
you haven't.
No. Seriously, like people feel like you're nobody, so they don't even want to wait. They don't even call you back, honey.
Yeah.
So my assistant and I.
Is she here today?
Yeah, she's here.
I totally want to meet her.
Yeah, no, you need to meet her.
She's from North Carolina.
Yes, she's
from Chapel Hill. Yeah.
Oh my God, she's like the best thing that ever happened to me. One of the best things. Okay, I said to her, "Hey, we need to do this cookbook."
Yeah.
Literally, we did it less than 6 months.
Seriously?
Seriously. I say, okay, we can't afford to pay anybody. So you need to do this. You need to correct all the English, all the...
Wow.
I flew my friend from New York, Batman, Alan Batts, and he did the pictures. And then we had a local girl here also did some pictures. And I'm like, well, we're going to put it together. So how do we do the layout? She said, I'm like, you figure out, okay? I didn't go to school for that.
Well, she did a really good job. That thing's hardback. It totally looks like it was created by. I mean, I just assumed it. Well, I couldn't believe when you said you self-published that thing.
This is what I'm saying. When one door doesn't open, you make the door yourself.
Yeah, there you go.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, and I'm like, dude, I'm not gonna chase you. I'm gonna self-publish this.
Yeah.
Well, but the second one, obviously, is not gonna be self-published. It's gonna be
for sure. Yeah, Your View from the Top.
Yes.
Yes.
I already trademarked that, so nobody can take it.
That's your life story. I mean,
Yes.
that's what we've talked about a lot today,
Yes.
because you mentioned in there that you want to tell that in another book one day. So
Yes.
okay.
Yes. I wanted it to start with something because I want people to start, because my cuisine my cuisine actually evolved. You need to understand, I cook for Aspenites, the 1%, and the 1% want healthy. So people from Aspen know me as healthy eater, healthy everything, balanced meal,
Right.
things like that. They don't know me as Aunt Jemima or we call soul food. It's only now that like I'm embracing my culture, my African culture. So at night we do Afro Mediterranean, like we introduce fonio, we introduce other ingredients, suya, a spice, for the meat, chicken yassa,
Yeah.
things like that. It's only now. So that's what I'm saying to young people. You don't need to do everything right at a time. Timing. It's very important.
Yeah.
That's what I notice. So in order for people to come to my restaurant, I needed them, first of all, to trust me,
Yeah.
to trust my cooking. Then they're able to try something new.
Right.
So you can't go to, I don't know, Alaska and tell them, I'm going to put an African
Yeah.
thing there in the middle of nowhere.
Right.
No, it was gradually, it was, okay, we know Mawa. If Mawa say this is good, so it's good. So they're more able to explore more. So
Right.
it was gradually. That's why in a cookbook, someone who opens, like, there's no African recipe, there's nothing about her, because it wasn't about me when I started.
Yeah. Right.
It was about the customer.
Right.
It was about where I was living and my demographic, what they wanted to eat.
Sure.
So that's why I wanted, and how we built this business here. No, it wasn't because I was doing fried chicken. Because if someone else hear that, they think, she's doing southern food. No.
Yeah.
Nowhere near close to it. People will come here and say, I'm like, So it's only now that I'm introducing more and more. My cuisine is evolving, and it became me.
Do you have other people in the business that you look up to or inspired by, or?
Well, Danielle Ballou is very good. I think Martha Stewart is amazing business person. I think she's awesome. That's probably it.
Yeah.
Dave is doing amazing.
Yeah. Dave runs an amazing business and is a low profile, doesn't want,
he doesn't like publicity.
Doesn't
oh
have
my God.
Like he's not a brand. Like there's, but I think that you have a wonderful opportunity. You've built your personal brand has massive potential.
Thank you.
Oh,
but
absolutely.
You didn't honestly, I didn't do that. It wasn't even by design. I was trying to make it.
Yeah. Oh,
so
yeah.
I'm cooking food, that's why, yesterday you guys came and I'm cooking food for the airports.
Yeah.
I'm doing catering because the 6 months of the year, we still need to pay rent. We still need to pay things.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And this is the first time in my career, since last year, we offer, health insurance,
right,
pay vacation. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That is such a big deal for us.
Yeah.
But in order to finance that, I can't be off the kitchen. I still need to keep those little things.
Yeah.
So that it make up for it, instead of being like, but I don't care,
Right.
No, because it was a milestone for us, to be able to do that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. What's next?
Only God knows. I'm open.
What do you, I mean, I know that you and Daniel is your husband, right?
Correct.
I know y'all are. I mean, you work a lot. You're working hard often. Do you give yourself enough grace to give yourself some downtime and some free time? And what do y'all do for fun?
We watch TV.
You watch TV?
No, we like traveling.
Traveling.
Oh my God, I love traveling. I like to discover other people, cultures, and food, and there's nothing better because you feel like you understand so much through food.
Yeah.
Today we become like a robot. We don't care. It's like we shovel everything in our mouth, but we don't know how long it take to make it.
Yes.
What is the purpose behind what we are making? I am such a big advocate of touching product, cooking with your hand, not use too much glove, because I feel like there's a synergy between your hand and the product. That's why, when I go to Africa and those women, it took them a whole day to make a meal.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't have digestion problem over there.
Right.
I don't have gluten problem. I don't have none of, because it's like fermentation,
Yeah.
Your hand help digest. It's almost like, honestly, the good analogy will be, how when a child is born and they say, okay, the connection.
Yep.
Okay, your connection to food is your hand. If you don't use your hand, okay, if nobody touched the process, any like you cooking fries, for example, if you take the fries frozen, you put it in a fryer, you wear a glove, you put it on a plate, it's going to be hard to digest. But if you take the fries, the potato, you cut it and you fry it, use your hand because you touch it several times.
Yeah.
There's that, energy, because we are all energy that go into it. Okay, it tastes better.
Yep.
And you feel better because you digest it. Because today people, I have this allergy. It's not allergy. It's because you eat processed food all day long. And nobody.
Mawa.
Do you understand?
No, listen, we could talk for the next
People
3 hours
have
about
no
that. That's
clue.
a huge.
There's no human. There's no. So a child that doesn't connect with you, you say, "Oh, why it doesn't connect with me?" Well, because he never had that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you don't digest. You don't do this because you don't have the connection.
Yep.
And then we use a fork too. So that's a big one. In Africa, we use with our hands. How many people are gluten free or have this lactose intolerant or whatever? Not many.
Yeah.
Fermentation. This is, your brain say, okay, I'm touching it, and this is how people know the food is fresh. This is how you know the connection. You touch it, you smell it.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like, can we go back to that? This is next on my list. I'm like, people need to connect more with food, but in a different way.
Well, maybe we're beginning to, I think COVID helped people recognize, because we had to be in our homes and we couldn't go be around people and go to our favorite restaurants. And then you start thinking like, wait a minute, that restaurant down the street that I really love, like, I hope they don't go out of business, because like I realize now how important. You weren't thinking that about chains and stuff like that. It's like the local independent places. So you started to realize that. And I think that it seems to me there's like these two extremes, and everything is moving in either direction. One being like on the, like, you think like a McDonald's. My thought is in 5 years, 10 years, probably barely any human beings actually working in those, because they're going to figure out ways to, like you said, like your hands, it's just a machine that takes this frozen product, pulls it out, puts it in grease, pulls it out, puts it on a plate, and there's like one person there that's like, that person's just manning the equipment, like making sure the equipment's working. There's not people. And maybe when you're on the road and you're like, have a short amount of whatever, like there's a place for that. But then, like, what you really appreciate, what I appreciate, and I think anybody listening to this and people that love independent restaurants appreciates, is like the slow, deliberate process. Like Dave and I spent, I don't know what, 2 hours here last night talking, taking our time, eating food, not shoveling this, just enjoying it, talking to you and your husband, knowing that this food is, it's good ingredients and it's made with intention and thought and care. And then we sit around tables and enjoy the people that we care about and enjoy the people that we love and have good food that's made with love. You can taste it, no doubt about it, when food is made. The difference between food that's made with care and thought and intention and love and been manipulated by somebody's hand versus just like processed, quick, fast, whatever. And boy, when you get into, like, we have to do a whole another episode sometime, I think, almost on what we're putting in our bodies and how all these like conditions and things that people are living with now. Spend time on the outer aisles of your grocery store and you'll be a whole lot better than,
it's healthier. People talk about, I'm so super healthy. I say, you know what? Everybody want to buy Gucci and whatever bag. I'm like, dude, care about what you put in your mouth.
Care about what you put. That's
Nourish
exactly right.
your body.
Yeah.
But most of people, it's always the outside. And then you hear, but this person died of cancer. Why die of cancer? Because he spent all the time nourishing his outside instead of inside.
Yeah.
There's so many things that we can do to prevent so many diseases. And, and this is where I think I'm so lucky to come from the background that I come from.
Right.
Africa, for one. France, for two. Because, boy, we love good food in France.
Yeah, right.
In Africa, when you go and you're like, why these people always spend so much time cooking, literally, and they do everything by hand, and it's so beautiful. Why do you think people love soul food?
Nourishes your soul. Yeah,
exactly. It's the most greasy, unhealthy thing, but guess what? Most of the people actually digest this thing because it's been homemade.
Right.
It's part of our culture.
Yeah.
And when you start standardize, you can eat fried chicken from me, or you can eat fried chicken from City Market.
Yeah.
Do you know the difference? Bad ingredient, first of all.
Right.
And then the fact that nobody touched it, the fact that nobody energy. I mean, it's just energy.
Yeah.
And I think it's not so much about being organic and things. I hear people say, you know what, you can do one thing for yourself. Cook your own meal.
Yeah.
At least twice a week.
Yeah.
Do that for yourself.
Yeah.
You're going to see the difference.
Yep. Totally agree.
And then if you can't cook your own meal, eat with your hands.
Right.
It's a sensory thing.
Yeah.
And I don't know how to educate. I'm such a passionate about it. I don't know how to educate people about it. It's not primitive. Actually, the primitive people did well. Okay, eating with your hand. It's so more powerful. Try it one day a week with your family.
Yeah. Look, places
awesome.
all around the world that
they do it,
and they don't have all these
problem
diseases of modernity, and they're diseases of plenty and convenience and all this stuff. And I don't know, maybe people are at the very front end of starting to wake up to this. At least you and I are talking about it. It is. I think about it all the time.
Oh no, me too.
It's like I think you said it. You said do it for yourself. It's a gift you can give to yourself.
Absolutely.
Like give it's like putting gas in a car. Like if you go put diesel in if I were to go fill that car up that I'm driving with diesel, it ain't going to work. It's going to have problems.
The granola, granola, this is the funniest thing. I have a choice, honestly. I can go and find a co-packer who is going to do that, and I don't have to do that. But I'm going to tell you, no. It's almost like a religious thing for me.
Yeah.
I make the granola, just the process of making the granola. I don't even have a machine that mix it. I don't even have, I have mixer, and I'm not using it. And my baker's she's like, seriously? I say, There's something in that granola beside the ingredient. I want a hand. It needs to be handmade. Because it reminds me of Africa. It reminds me of our humanity.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
I do.
So that's the only thing, that if the only thing I can do is that I will not right now, if you ask me, unless I'm broke and I'm on the street, I will not package. No, I want it to be done by a little factory where women are sitting around the table, packaging it, putting a sticker, sorting each bag of granola, mixing it. And it's such a liberating and relaxing thing. I'm just saying.
I love that so much, Mawa. Well, there's that, just because you can doesn't mean you should. And you have something that's important to you, and that comes through in everything that I've seen from you, and it comes through in, people. I mean, the more people that know what's behind that product, people will pay for that. People want.
Oh yeah, my
that.
granola ain't cheap. Oh my
yeah,
god.
Yeah.
And I'm not honestly, I'm not in a cheap, or it's not about the price. It's the process for me.
It's the process.
And the quality of the product.
Yeah.
I mean, nobody go to freaking Walmart and ask for a Gucci bag.
Yeah.
Why they don't do that? But when it comes to food, it's like in America, you are conditioned to buy the cheapest, the fastest.
Yeah.
But you will not do that when it comes to something else.
Yeah.
Why is that?
Yeah.
Why is food has to be cheap? Why?
Well, I won't start getting into the idea that there's a lot of programming going on to get people to eat cheap crap so they can get sick, so we can medicate them. And
absolutely, but that's the problem.
But maybe, there's a lot of incentive
it's
for
like yes.
that vicious cycle of
Yeah, but how do we explain that? It costs $3 to go and get a burger, and then you come here and you pay $18 the burger, and I'm like, dude, know the difference.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, the 39 of our states, all right, so 78 of our 100 senators are from states where the biggest employer is either Walmart or the healthcare. So there's a lot of money going into keeping people sick, a little bit sick and medicated and not necessarily cured. Just so that is such a big conversation. But I'm so thankful that you, Dave, all of you independent restaurant people out there that make quality products and care about people's health and care about people's souls and give them an opportunity to come somewhere and just feel at home. I mean, hospitality is just the most amazing. When it's done right, it's just, it is so wonderful to have an opportunity to eat good food and have people care about you and take care of you and leave everything behind and come like Dave and I did last night. We've been talking for an hour and 45 minutes.
Oh, shit.
I could talk to you all day, Mawa, but I want to respect your time, and I'm going to go. I'm going to go join
go ski. Yeah,
Dave
go
on the
ski.
slopes.
Go ski. No.
This is amazing. This is amazing.
Thank you so much for driving, for coming here and interviewing me. I mean, this is amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you for giving me the opportunity.
And I love Schedule Fly. Okay, I don't understand all the button yet, but my restaurant managers and they love it. They're like, oh, this is so easy. So you can just send the schedule and someone can put a request, and I'm like, ooh, this is fancy. We fancy now.
You and all of your team, I want you to have my cell. That's how we roll. We've been doing this 16 years. There's 5 of us. 5 people. We serve about 6,000 restaurants.
Oh, wow.
But I give my cell phone number is on our public facing website. I want people to, I think I got some while we were talking. I get calls and texts. We're very hands-on. We have simple software, and we believe that taking care of our customers with the same hospitality that you take care of your customers is important. It's not, we could automate so much stuff and whatever, but I really enjoy the interaction with people. I love it when people call and hey, I got a question.
Good.
Or,
Zach's going to call you.
Good. Have him. I mean, seriously, literally, that's that's how we roll. That's what we do.
Awesome.
It's very hands-on. It's very, like, our goal is to provide what we say legendary customer service, like not just like good, like legendary, like it's super important. So,
thank you.
But thank you for the business, and thank you for taking this time. This is so freaking awesome. This is so freaking awesome. I really, really love your story. I think you are such an inspiration to so many people. I can't wait for my daughter, who's a freshman in college, to listen to this, because I'm always trying to find, she wants to be a vet, and I hope she is a vet one day.
Awesome.
But I think it's just wonderful to find women who've just hustled and done everything that they needed to do to be successful and have their own business. It's such an empowering thing to be a business owner, and then to give other people, as you're doing, opportunities to grow and learn, and then you'll have people come through here that will then go on and start their own business one day, and then guess what they're going to be doing when they're struggling is like calling you like, Mawa, I need help, and you're going to be like, good, let's do this, just like Dave did.
I'll be like, dude, hang in there.
Yeah. It's a grind. It's a grind.
No, it is. You know what? I always say, there's no glory in being a restaurant business. Yeah. There's no glory. It's not, it's not for, because I think also TV kind of made chef look like, oh, you need to be a superstar. You know what? No, you don't need to. Just cook. Just
be willing to do the 98% of the time. It looks sexy. Yeah. Like, oh, owning a restaurant, and people probably saw you sitting there last night talking. I'm like, oh, she owns this place.
Yes.
But it's like, that's like this tiny percent. Like it's a lot of hard. Yeah.
6.
Yeah.
I was doing all the meal for the plane. My staff come. They have a lot of respect for me because they know when I'm here, like, I'm doing it.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's no, oh, she's not doing this. They're like, oh, like sometimes we feel embarrassed. Like, I can do it. I say, honey, I'm doing it. I can do it.
Yeah.
And I love doing it. So, no, it's something.
Keep grinding, y'all.
Thank you.
It's not easy. It's a tough road, but it's a very fulfilling one, and you're clearly very fulfilled. I mean, that's very
right
clear.
now I am.
Right now you are. Well, y'all, thank you for listening. Mawa, thank you for doing this.
Thank you, everybody.
That is a wrap. See ya.
Bye.